Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Actually, prefer to have my camera off, and is that okay for everyone?
Yeah, no problem. GP, you muted. Oh, yeah.
I think Jiten is currently muting.
Okay, sorry. Hi. Sorry, actually, my bad. My mic actually was with something getting into trouble. So yeah, let's welcome our guest and our audience of today's debate. So before starting the debate, I would like to thanks everyone for joining today's debate again, and nice to see you guys. So today's topic is decentralized AI versus centralized AI. Who gonna control the future? And for this debate, we have Trevor from Tagger AI, Alga from Elijah OS, Toby from Kyla AI, and Maya from Bink AI. So before starting this debate, I would like to give the opportunity to our guest to give their introduction, which gonna include like about their technology, their project, and the introduction about the concept and why they think they are superior in technically to other decentralized or centralized AI. So yeah. So guys, I would like to keep a order of where Maya gonna go first, then Toby, then Trevor, then Igor. Yep, Maya, you can go ahead.
Yes. Thank you. So first, I'm Maya from Bing AI. We are a decentralized UI UX AI that will help users to transact through simple text command. Currently, we also have Bing OS, which is the operating system that allow developer to build their on-chain AI agents. So that's it for my.
All right, then I think it's me. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. I am Toby, CMO and Chief Weather Officer of Kayla. We are a real-world AI agent that's transforming how weather and environmental intelligence informs everyday decisions. What sets Kayla apart is our deep integration of physical world sensing with agentic AI reasoning. And it's all powered by live data from our decentralized weather stations. If you're watching, you can see me holding up our weather station called Marco that we launched end of last year. So powered by the live data from this, Kayla doesn't just forecast the weather, it understands, adapts, and recommends based on the environmental conditions. Centralized weather platforms are limited by static APIs and gated data. However, Kayla is composable, interoperable, and on-chain, thanks to BNB Chain's Model Context Protocol. Our Open Agent API allows any developer, app, or DAO to plug in real-world live weather insights, enabling weather-aware apps, insurance models, and smart logistics. And finally, the core innovation is the fusion of decentralized environmental data with inference-ready AI agents. No one else combines the on-device intelligence, real-world sensor data, and modular AI infrastructure at our scale and precision. We're building the weather-aware foundational layer for autonomous systems and climate-resilient apps for the future. When we talk about decentralized AI, Kayla really brings it home, literally, because these things run from real homes across real places throughout the globe with real data. So we're going to really help power an agentic economy that's aware of its surroundings and its environment. It's proactive and it's just grounded in the physical world. That was 2 minutes exactly.
Awesome. This is something interesting. Yep. I think Trevor can go next.
Yes. So hello, it's Trevor, founder of Tagger. So Tagger is basically a decentralized AI data solution platform for data labeling, management, review, processing, and trading. So we run on a D Corp model. So it's quite simple. Basically, we allow anyone from anywhere to be able to contribute their work to data labeling. So an introduction to data labeling, basically AI needs food. So if you imagine AI is your brain, then we need food. So when you grow from an infant to an adult, they learn along the way, and data is crucial for an AI to learn. So that's basically the food to AI, and we need to label a lot of specialized data because we see in the current industry, over 98% of data has already been consumed by AI production. So where do we find the remaining 2% of data? We need to find it from niche or specialized industries, especially like healthcare, agriculture, autonomous driving vehicles, so autopilot systems. So these are actually the main use cases for data labeling, and we do that. So basically, very simple. For a user, you come onto www.tagger.pro. You go to Task Plaza, choose data labeling, work on a labeling task. So previously, we opened up something called AI Copilot labeling. So where someone who, for example, is not a doctor or nurse can also label medical data. All you need to do is click on a target area. So our pre-trained Copilot tool will label out roughly where the target area is. Click on it around 4 to 5 times, and the outline will be precisely bounded. So the outline will come out, and that piece of data will be correctly labeled. So coming in very shortly will be our new updates for manual data labeling and also review. So after you've contributed, after you put in your effort, you will receive tag instantly after 24 hours after request. So it's no points, no XP, no experience, just token directly to your wallet like a salary. So instant cross-border payment. Yeah, so it's quite a direct approach. So I'm looking forward to your participation in Tag D Corp. We'll open V2 up very shortly. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Aga?
Hi, everybody. My name is Igor, one of the core dev of ELIZA OS. ELIZA OS is the leading framework for the creation of agent on the Web3 space, and not only the Web3 space. We have a very big park of plugins. Literally, you can connect with everybody. And I have a very big amount of friends, even here, that use our agents to actually operate. Nubila, I have also your device. Is mounted outside the house. It's fantastic. Okay, and about Tagger also, we got the after the AMA last time. I would really like to start to use your platform for labeling of specific data that I use for my agent. But what ELIZA do and what ELIZA can do. ELIZA was very big in the version 1. Version 2 is already out, so we are in the beta testing, real beta testing of the version 2. We are porting all the plugins from version 1 to version 2 for complete compatibility. So any developer, even not really expert, okay, with ELIZA can drop an agent that can do transaction online, so transaction on chain with token or whatever. He can access any possible API, because literally I think we have all of them. And now also with the MCP in and out, because you can use the MCP to extend ELIZA, but you can use my MCP to connect to ELIZA and even debug your own agent. So this is going to facilitate your life really, really much. So the package is really, really full of features, even too much sometimes, okay? But specializing an agent with ELIZA now, version 2 is very much more easy. You can upload knowledge directly from the UI. You don't even have to have any knowledge about this, but maybe you have a specific data set that you created along the road for another agent. You want to just plug it in the ELIZA version 2. You can just upload it, and your agent gonna have this knowledge that is gonna be easy to also handle it. Better memory management, better reasoning out of the box without a reasoning agent. So the agent now can be much, much more, let's say, even affordable to build. because before it was costing a lot of money to create all this significant knowledge that we was need to have in our agent, and now is specifically easy to even upload from a browser. So this is all for now.
Awesome, awesome. I think we have like literally great and amazing guests with huge experience. And for you guys, I have an update. Right now we are watching by like 1,800 people. And I believe this is the right time to start asking spicy questions to our guests. So for the first question, I would like to ask everyone. So I'd like to know, as AI is growing exponentially, the hype is also growing hugely. So people are building lots of projects around AI. So for our audience, you guys, I'm giving you opportunity to prove like or to describe like what is the different thing you are building out of speculative and noise, which is like out of the narrative, but you are solving some real world or real blockchain problem or anything that is not surfing AI DP or hype cycle of the current Web3 market. So I would like to give again in the same order answering these questions and to demonstrate about your project that why it is different. It's not playing the hype, not playing the current trend of Web3.
Okay, so can we actually upload some demo of our product? Can we use the demo video of our product? I think you are muting yourself.
Yeah. You can definitely you can share your screen or your presentation for sure.
So before showing a demo product, I'm going to show that. Yes. Actually, this is like how we are integrating Bing AI as a node for end-to-end. You guys know the automate workflow, right? So now Bing AI, we are more than just a dev AI agent that allow users to transact. Now we also become the node and the OS that allow users to customize their workflow. So example, you want to create an airdrop flow, right? You can actually drag and drop the protocols that you want to do the transaction on. For example, like a DEX on BNB that you want to farm airdrops. So you don't have to do it every day manually. You can drag and drop different flow and create your own farming routes. So that's Bing AI doing. And also we have our Telegram bot and our Bing AI web chat that allow users to conduct staking, lending, swapping, bridge, all on-chain automation actions. Yes. And by that I mean Bing AI is solving the real case use of people who want to do on-chain interaction, but they don't want to do a lot of hassle, connect their wallets to multiple platforms. They can do it through two ways. One, via text command, and two, via our nodes. They can drag and drop and create their workflow. So that's the real use case that we are creating.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Because if I tell you exactly, there are so many people who are not able to jump into Web3 just because of these kind of barriers which have like in wallet connection, approval of transactions, and there are so many things. A person who don't know about Web3 or not much educate about Web3, definitely it's act like a barrier to lots of people. And I believe you guys are solving some issues toward this direction where people are now can easily interact with Web3 and make easy for them to get connected into the Web3 world. So yeah, this is something interesting. So yeah, I think now Toby should go next.
Yeah. So at Kayla, we're not building in a vacuum. Every day, people make weather-dependent decisions. From billion-dollar logistic operations to choosing a restaurant, planning a weekend trip, or just deciding what to wear today. And the weather data infrastructure powering these decisions traditionally is completely broken. It's centralized, generic, often government-owned, and it's typically inaccurate, and especially at the hyperlocal level, which is like what really matters to you. And so this is what distinguishes Kayla. We're building active real-world AI infrastructure with a functional token at the center of a live ecosystem that serves individuals, developers, and businesses with real-time weather intelligence. So for individual users, we unlock hyperlocal, real-time lifestyle recommendations, travel advisories, weather alerts. Everything's tailored to each person's specific environment and their needs. For developers, Kayla serves as an API access token, allowing the integration of live environmental data into apps. This could be across travel, fitness, health, smart home infrastructure sectors. The list is endless. And then for businesses, Kayla enables kind of weather-aware customer engagement through sponsored recommendations. It also provides valuable behavioral analytics based on local weather conditions. So understanding how the weather affects demand or even supply for your business.
Great. Yeah, actually, there is one more fun questions I have. Like, for example, as you mentioned, this is also for the smart homes. Let's say in my colony, like 20 people or 20 homes, smart homes. So do these 20 homes request to install your device, or one home from this 20 home who are basically in a same colony or same area are gonna use this device?
Obviously, yeah, there's only so granular you need the weather data to be. So ideally, we would just have the one, and then focus on deploying stations in areas that have no coverage anywhere near them, and we use tokenization to incentivize deployment in specific areas.
And what if, for example, if there is 100 of homes in the same city and all of them installed your device, is there like any benefit or accuracy gonna be increased, or that's gonna be same, the results gonna be same?
It's not going to be as valuable as obviously spacing out the weather station sensors, but you could, the more sensors you have, the more easily you can run QC algorithms that we constantly do, right? You'd be able to see if there was some temperature that's not working. And for the AI modeling, it's obviously temporal spatio models are super important. So understanding the relationship between many different stations is how you derive accurate short-term forecasts. So there was a bit concentrated, your example, but there's no harm. The more the better, basically. And just one last thing, we also really help Web3 ecosystems and autonomous agents. So we power agent to agent and agent protocol interactions by providing these real world signals through our composable modules on BNB chain.
Great. I think Trevor can go next.
Yeah, so basically, when I founded Tagger, I envisioned something that obviously wanted to solve some AI bottlenecks. So what I think is disruptive in this round of crypto is something that's actually very basic, like something that's easy to execute, but something that actually grants power, like the permissionless structure to the Web2 AI space. So one obviously bottleneck is data right now. So we break it down from the consumer side and also the enterprise side. So I first talk about how we attract our users to do data labeling on our platform. So basically, instant cross-border payment has always been very difficult for Web2 data crowdsourcing companies like Scale AI, for example, because, for example, if someone was working in Vietnam for a data labeling work and Scale AI were to pay them from America, then it usually takes around 2 to 3 weeks. And it's not instant reward, not instant payment. But for Tagger, after your contribution, you're paid instantly. So after 24 hours after request. And basically, we run a D Corp model where you earn what you deserve, because D Corp, so decentralized corporation, traditionally we have managers, we have CEOs, we have a lot of directors and intermediaries sharing a lot of the revenues or profit that's generated. So traditionally in traditional Web2 markets, for every around $10 you generate, you earn $1 of it. So 10% roughly. But for Tagger, for decentralized corporation, essentially there's no directors or managers or like CEOs for a specific task. Rather, everything's managed by smart contract algorithms on chain. So instead, our workers earns 100%, or actually we take 2% of the transaction fees. So 98% of the profit and the revenue that they actually generate. So that's basically a big part of D Corp. You can come in, plug and play, just label directly. We can have anyone label. We don't actually have open whitelists. We don't have these kind of things. Anyone can come here without monetary contribution to be part of Tagger. And also with our fair launch mechanism and fair distribution mechanism. But in terms of data labeling in general, we do specialized data sets. Like one part of advantage of Tagger is specialized data set. And a big part of that is autopilot, because we see Build Your Dream, like the electric car company, and they have a lot of competitors. So that's a major use case and utility in data labeling right now. So traditionally, they spend millions and millions of dollars into actually protecting the data from theft each year. So last year for Build Your Dream, it was several tens of millions, so roughly 40 million RMB, so Chinese dollar, into just protecting the security. Their data labelers and their managers can't bring their phone into their offices. It's like a 24-hour surveillance system all around the office just to protect the data. And also, companies can't actually share or trade data. For example, if Build Your Dream wanted to work with Tesla, for example, they can't work on one piece of data at the same time, because you know how data in Web2 flows everywhere. Like even your personal data, it flows everywhere. You can find it. People can monetize off it, but don't pay you royalties. But in the case of Web3 and also Tagger's data authentication system, once we have these data labeled and we deliver to our enterprise clients, we give them the option to put it on chain. So what does it mean? We give you sole ownership, and that will protect from all kind of theft, include internal briberies, internal, like cabal systems. So for example, a manager in Build Your Dream could potentially leak a part of their internal server data to someone else. But if it's protected by blockchain, then that's not possible, because it's all the transaction and transfers are all recorded on chain, on a ledger. And also at the same time, we allow data training and collaborative work on the same AI, on the same set of AI data, because then Build Your Dream and Tesla, for example, they can work together without having to worry that, the other company stealing what we actually produce. Because companies usually produce data and label data behind closed doors right now. So blockchain essentially allows them to do that collaboratively with permissionless trust, basically. That's a very important thing in crypto, in AI data industry. So on one side, we have a lot of users participating in D Corp. That's how we attract the market. That's the way we go. We do fair distribution. We allow anyone to join. On the other end, we protect that kind of safety to our enterprise clients. So that's the main two parts of Tagger that we disrupt. Yeah.
Awesome. Definitely. I pretty much understand data is basically highly required for building AI. But one more thing I would like to know, are you guys only giving opportunity to people for leveling online data only, or they can also do offline data leveling or any data they want, like from any, like let's say from offline records or from their personal data to like any data?
Yes. So currently we only do online, because we would like everything to be instantly uploaded to the chain. Because if it's done offline, then it's still prone to theft. Because if someone does it offline and send it to another person and blah blah blah, then that ownership of data is just not there. So currently we only do online, just the tasks that we publish on our Task Plaza. Tagger V1 included medical, so actually a set of data set for lung cancer and craft nodules, and also agriculture, and also actually mining data as well. So in V2 we will open up more of that. So currently it's all on chain, but in the future we will open up data collection as well. So that part would be done offline. So if you do have some personal data you want to upload, then sure, that's fine. That's the way to go. So data collection. But in terms of labeling, we prefer the safety and we prefer like ownership and trust for our enterprise clients. Yeah, so it must be online.
Awesome. I go. You can go next.
So as a framework-based project, we have no specific, but we have multiple use cases that most of the team are developing on over ELIZA. So speaking about something that we solved, that is somehow connected to the argument of today, that is the problem of the centralization of data, and especially the centralization of knowledge. One of my specialties, so it's something that I do for all agents that we develop and all agents that I develop for third party. Very important thing is the creation of the knowledge of these agents. So if you want the agent to be personal or specifically connected to the domain of the company you want to use it, company or team or entity they want to use it, you need to have, for example, data that is very much properly labeled, that like the one that is produced by Target, for example. So when you want to solve one of the problems that agents have, so let's say AI, because we say AI in general, but agents because it's mostly oriented to the Gen AI. We need to create synthetic knowledge generally. How we create this synthetic knowledge? At the beginning, we was using models like Nemotron from NVIDIA that produce two models. One is for creating content, what is for tagging content. The first create a series of question answer that is a data set that you're going to use to train a model and also to fine-tune the agent, and the other give an evaluation to the question answer pair. The question answer pair that are under 90%, so literally not properly done. Then this way you can remove them from the data set, and you have a data set specifically done for this domain that you can trust, but is made with a centralized situation. So if in this moment Nemotron is pretty clean, is very old actually as model, but is centralized. So I have to trust the the entity, the company that trained that model to create my knowledge. So here the situation changed drastically, because if for some domain we have data, a lot of data, for some extra domain like healthcare, it's very much more difficult to have it available, and specifically for the knowledge creation, that is not just a data set with information, is a data set where the agent gonna use to somehow create a conversation with you about that specific argument. That's the situation a little bit more complex. So how we solve this inside ELIZA or inside any other situation? We have to create this specific training data that is a synthetic data now. We don't use humans anymore. It's too long to do, it's too difficult, too expensive, and teams that are started to appear in the space don't have this amount of funds. So we create, with agents, we create a full data set, and then we also score it to understand what is not useful, and we trash it. Then he's gonna pass it through something like Tagger. So we have humans that actually read what is there, specifically when the argument is very important, like healthcare, like lawyers, like other medical stuff. So everything where you need to be sure 100%, you're gonna need to have a little bit of touch from the human. But the problem here comes from the centralization. So depending on we use Nemotron, probably everybody uses Nemotron now, because it's very much more neutral than a lot of other LLMs. Sometimes you ask question and you need answer that are specific to that question. The LLM is trained in a way it doesn't really give you that area, so that is completely useless for the scope. Ideally, the creation of knowledge for agents, a part of the creation of the data set, and the labeling from human of specific questions that are very sensitive, it should be also double, triple, quadruple checked by agents that are judged, and also retarget after the loading. So when your agent actually have this knowledge that you load to him, you're going to have to start asking questions relative to that knowledge to understand how good was the fine-tuning of the model, that is probably OpenAI or another open source model, that is the LLM behind the agent, and of course also the quality of the knowledge you was able to create, okay, that correspond to the question, to the answer that your agent is going to give it to you. It's important this because let an agent just use the reasoning that now we have available, okay? ELIZA is out of the box, you don't need to have a reasoning LLM, but most of the framework outside now have reasoning also, step in step. It cannot be put together in a proper way if the data set is not very good. So if one of the biggest things that any team that want to build agents with ELIZA or with another framework is specific and very clean data, very difficult to do. So this is the value of your tool, okay? And it need to be also less biased as possible in any possible way. Okay, so biased means that the data reflect only one side of the coin. Sometimes the data is real, so sometimes this is exactly what is happening. The problem is not that the data is, unbalanced, is that the agent gonna learn the one that happened most of the time. So every time he's gonna answer something, it's gonna be related to the part that happened. And when we do machine learning, so when we do the training of real models, we tend to somehow, balance this strategically to avoid the model to answer always in this way. So this is probably one of the biggest problems that every agent have now in space, and because they're not reliable, because people don't do the homework properly, but is something that I think is going to happen. You're going to see a lot of teams start to do something like this, because it's not just leaving the data I prepared and have a data that you can trust. It's also create this, let's say, neural connection between arguments, okay, that then they make your agent much more near the human.
Awesome. I believe you are doing a solution for the modern problem, because right now as AIs are exponentially growing, they definitely require some modern solution to become smart, to become intelligent. So yeah, guys, one more update. Again, right now we are watching by like 3,200 people. So I believe this is the best time for the flex round. Flex round is basically the round where we invite you guys to show some proof about the protocol. It can be your TPS, processing throughputs, how many real world users today, or you can showcase some of your dApps which are live and deployed in your in your product. Then maybe some milestone which you achieved or gonna achieve in the future by sharing your dashboard, by sharing your proof which you have, or your Dune dashboard for our audience. So yeah, basically I'd like to give stage to Maya to flex Bing AI first, then we can follow the order.
Okay, let me upload. Give me a minute and I will upload the demo of my product.
Yeah, if then in the meantime, I can pass this question to Toby. He can go next.
Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah, Kayla's established some really high impact collaborations across Web3 and AI ecosystems. We went live on Chain Opera and have accumulated 300,000 real world users. We've also integrated with BNB Chain's MCP, the Modal Context Protocol, to serve as a climate-aware AI agent module within decentralized agent networks. Our AI agent is As I mentioned, now live on Chain Opera, where users can query a real-time environmental intelligence for whatever informed decisions they're trying to make. In terms of milestones this year, we've had a lot, but top three, integrating with BNB Chain's MCP, we secured listing on Binance Alpha, and we crossed $175 million in cumulative trading volume within the USD1 campaign that we launched. That's the highlights.
Great. I think Trevor can go next. If you want to show something, want to share your screen or anything, please let me know. I can help you to share your screen.
Oh yeah, I think Maya already set up a demo. Yeah, I saw it just then.
Okay, I think this is the demo by Maya. Yeah, then let's allow Maya first. Then maybe after that you can go.
Sure.
Yes, so the video above just demoed how Bing OS is used for on-chain interaction, including swap, transfer, and token deploy. And the backbone of the Bing AI agent is powered by Bing OS. So Bing OS is powered by multiple plugins, including the swap plugin, the bridge plugin, token plugin, knowledge plugins, and many others.
I think she lost the connection.
Yeah, I think Trevor can go next. I'm connecting with him, with her until.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
sure.
She's back. She's back.
I think she's back. Yeah.
Yeah, I think something off with my internet. So currently, I just saw the demo about the interaction of Bing AI, but currently we are improving more than that. We are improving our AI capabilities to handle real-time question from users. For example, if they just want to stake and they don't know which protocol is best to stake, they just say, I want to stake my BNB. So the AI agent will have the capability to dictate which protocol has the best, like Geo has the best APY, and guide the user to stake. It's more than just performing on-chain interaction, and we are doing that using the MCP by BNB, which allow us to access like real data on the blockchain immediately in real time. So yes, currently we are working on advanced AI capability to
Awesome.
enhance the interaction.
Awesome. I believe this is something like a personal assistant in Web3 who gonna help people for doing tasks like trading, breaching, staking, whatnot. So yeah, interesting.
Yes, thank you.
Yep. So yeah, Trevor can go next.
Yeah, I think for the flex round, I'll first show like a data labeling walkthrough. So like a very quick run through of the demo, or like that will come up within a few weeks. I'll share my screen. Okay, so can you see the screen? Yeah, so basically what comes after yeah, so basically what comes after the rewards management page is that you upload your task to the blockchain receives your data, encrypted, placed on a ledger, handed over to the enterprise clients. So and then you can request your income on the rewards management page, and after 24 hours, ready for claim. So that's basically a logic of Tagger, and V2 update will be coming up very soon. If you go on Tagger.pro, unfortunately, you can't start your task as of yet because we're still experiencing an update, but it will come up very soon. V2 will be opening up. So that's basically the demo. And I think, for the flex round, I just want to mention USD1. So we added a USD1 liquidity pair to the tag PAG token. So after adding the 1.4 million liquidity pair, we experienced very high trading volumes over the past few days. So we also entered the USD1 trading competition hosted by World Liberty, Build on BSC, and also Pancake Swap. So currently we're at number 2 on the USD1 trading chart. So yeah, just hoping to do better there. Yeah, being very humbled, being very surprised to actually see us doing like better than expected. Yeah.
Awesome, Trevor. Awesome. So yeah, I think Toby can go next. I got.
Maybe I'm here. I'm sharing the screen. So, let's just flex a bit. We're talking about partner that is not even updated because the list is much longer. We basically we don't partner with all of the team, but we collaborate with a ton of teams that are developing on ELISA. Okay, there is up today 200. Let's say 250 packages that are between plugin adapters and other system to connect ELISA out, okay, of the singular agent. And there is a constant update because this is updated up now, okay? And 1 hour ago, we got a new plugin, for example, that create autonomously any end-to-end setup. So you can ask ELISA to create you an end-to-end that you can actually run inside. N8N that you can after run on N8N after, okay? And it's just an example. There is slowly we're gonna port. This is 197, so the difference in number is because of that. Is we are porting all the plugin to version 2, much more clean version, much better typing, so much more secure also, and super easy because if you want to start with our agent, you just have to do two commands. Is the install of the CLI, and the creation of the project, and the agent is already there, because as soon as you spin it the first time, the agent gonna be one agent, okay, gonna be there for you to start to interact, and then with the use of the UI that is from a browser, okay, without any knowledge of programming, you can set up completely your agent and have an agent that process transaction online, get data from any possible source, interact with any client, because Telegram is there, Slack is there, Discord is there, okay, and with the version 2, for the first time, we're going to give you also a set of agents that are going to help you and are ready-made. So is the agent you're going to get out of the box with 2 lines of code is going to be an agent that have no knowledge, no memory, okay? So this is an agent that can do anything you want, but you're going to need to grow with it. Meanwhile, in version 2, out of the box, you're going to also have the org, that is a series of agents that are going to operate inside your infrastructure. You're going to have agents that are going to take care of your social media. They're going to understand what's going on internally on your organization, that can take note meanwhile you have conversation like this, or we have meetings, and all this stuff is out of the box. So from version 2, the framework is not just anymore a framework. It comes also with some peculiar entity that you can use, okay, and of course that since they have this new knowledge system and memory system, they're gonna constantly grow with you. So I think the numbers gonna become even bigger. I say even bigger because I see a lot of teams that are developing on ELISA that are gonna also contribute to our repository. And last time in Dubai, I think I touched around 60 of them, and they did not yet push it. So we're gonna go around 350 connection outside, and it's all open source, cost zero. So you can clone the repository or just launch the command, okay? And you can use anything that is inside ELISA for free, unless the plugin you want to use have a cost, means the API cost X, okay? Then the only cost you're gonna have gonna be the one of the API. So with numbers, probably because for last time I checked in Dubai, I think 90% of the people I speak with was using ELISA to start to create in production and start to move inside the Web3 space. I think we are really well placed. I think.
Awesome. So yeah, guys, right now we are like almost watching by 4,000 people. So right now it's the best time to have some spicy questions, I would say. So this round called the hard truth, and this round where every people from every project participated here. You guys have to accept your technical bottleneck, which is right now, and how you're gonna addressing that. So Maya, you wanna go first?
Yeah, so another our problem is like how bringing LLMs into the blockchain. And yes, it's not as simple, especially because our team has a very small team, and we are incapable of running LLMs on our own. So we have to pull like the different LLM like OpenAI and Cloud and run them on the servers. But running LLM on blockchain isn't simple as plugging, because LLMs thrive on terabyte. The blockchain is something very lightweight. LLMs are not designed to run off-chain, but because it needs a lot of compute and context. While something like Bing AI, when you chat and you want answer, you want something instant and very transparent, very like accurate. So our solution is we already use something from the LLMs, other data. We have try to use MCP, or especially with the B2B MCP. Yes. Our answer is that we don't really rely everything on LNMs, but also from our own database and also from the MCP of BNB chain.
That's awesome. Toby?
Yeah, well, I think at Kala, our biggest challenge really is building scale so that we can provide super granular, trustworthy, hyperlocal environmental data in a decentralized and obviously privacy-preserving way. And we're kind of addressing this with a multi-layered strategy. One is really focused on expanding these Marco sensor, building a huge network to improve coverage at the edge. Secondly, we're leveraging trusted execution environments, TEE, via Fala network, so we can run verifiable private AI inference across distributed nodes. And finally, we're continuing to optimize how our system handles on-chain read-write through BNB MCP, so we can minimize latency. And yeah, this approach should ensure our data remains real-time, location accurate, and verifiable, which is obviously like critical for agents to make high-impact, reliable, real-time, hyperlocal decisions.
Great. Trevor?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges for Tagger, like maybe two actually, was initially we tried to build something like that has real fundamentals, and we did build that because just then I was having a dinner with the previous co-founder of Fullerton Health. So like we deliver health care data to them. So potentially, yeah, all of these things are difficult to build, but we did build them. We focused a lot on our product. We focused a lot on our fundamentals. But however, go to market, like I realized that during this bull run cycle, like AI founders or AI projects, you can't only focus on just delivering real world orders, or it can't just focus on all of the overly focus on fundamentals. Like you need that go-to-market, you need that fair distribution, you need that fair launch, or you need that mimetic power around essentially. So we're a very AI native project, but I realized that we need to actually mix some, degen or crypto native or mimetic power into our product. So that's why we chose, to add the USD1 liquidity pair, and also we did an event with 4Meme last December. An innovative approach where instead of buying into something before it pumps, rather you do data labeling before it pumps. We allocated 21% of our tokens to that. So it was a difficult shift initially for us because coming from an AI background, everything was quite AI native. But then I realized, okay, go-to-market is so very much important in crypto. So that's one of the main challenges. And secondly, initially, actually, to just receive these Web2 AI data orders is actually quite difficult because a lot of Web2 people, they're hesitant to work with a crypto company. They think they have that inherent concept within their minds that crypto is somewhat a scam. Is it a scam? Is it not? They don't know, right? So when I mention blockchain, they might be hesitant, but we need to prove that we can actually deliver orders. We need to prove the quality of our data. So that was a very difficult process to start off with, but we're glad we pushed through that. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I go.
So the most difficult part in AI is scaling. Scaling is expensive, as much expensive that you can imagine. In the same moment, okay, you drop any project. I'm not talking about Web3 yet. I'm talking about Web2. Okay, you drop any project that need to have large use of GPUs. That means not use the API from OpenAI. I mean the real dropping of models. The cost is exponential, and even if, let's say that you become famous, like us, okay, it took us 3 weeks, we become from 0 to hero in a second, basically, you know? If you don't have shoulders, means money to cover the GPU cost, you will never, ever scale. It's impossible, okay? And this is Web 2. Web 3 are even a little bit more of cost, okay? Because from one side, we would like to have stuff completely decentralized. In this moment, is not possible. Technically not possible. Even if we have the pin, the latency between machine is too big, is difficult, okay? We're gonna go there. NVIDIA just released the new backbone that is 150 terabytes per second, so InfiniBand probably gonna become even better. We're gonna go on a fully decentralized system also for the need of the LLM to be much more modular, okay, in time. But the biggest struggle on any situation related to AI in this moment is the scaling. So whatever agent you put together, maybe with a certain amount of user, it works very good, really good, okay? Then in the step further, so let's say that you become famous and your agent is gonna be used by 10 times more people. That's just 10 times more people. This will start to stress immediately your infrastructure at the point that the agent could stop being this reliable. Because even in a better lab possible, okay, in my lab, okay, you can see behind here there's GPUs. Under the table, there is a lot of GPUs working for the lab. It's not this simple. Here, everything works perfectly. The same machine in a data center work in a totally different way. So the struggle always gonna be scaling. In Web3, the struggle gonna be find the best way possible when we're gonna have the technology to completely decentralize the intelligence. I mean, don't use one single endpoint like you OpenAI anymore, but have multiple endpoints that serve you what you need. Okay, sometimes you need coding or cursor. You don't need all the expert in the LLM. You just need one. Okay, sometimes you have to write content for your team or for your coin, and you need a content creator that is not coding anymore. Okay, so at a point for necessity, Web 2 will go more decentralized than now, and then they're gonna start to adopt our technology. For the moment, they speak about decentralization of intelligence for real in this moment is impossible. I speak every day with DeepMind project. We have something, you know, studying, okay, because the idea of modularization of the LLM is already starting to get some papers also, okay. Ideally, we should have full trust, okay, of the pin. In this moment, there is no trust. Example, if I want to run my agent, in this moment, I don't run it on a DeepMind server for a simple reason that I have my private keys over there, even if they are covered by any possible way. It's possible that the operator of the DeepMind can read my logs and somehow get my keys. So it's not preferable in this moment. But soon, okay, because of the need of security, because of the need of privacy, because somehow our data is much more important than what people think, we're going to go on a more decentralized way to consume intelligence, and probably on a very much more decentralized way to use the agents. Because there's a reason why Apple did not jump in agents like straight away, is that they are not ready. They are fantastic. Some of them is already in production. They do specific tasks very good, but this fact that somehow they drift or they start to hallucinate scare a lot the companies. So Apple did not somehow enter AI for a lot of time, and now slowly it start to give you models that run only on the device. This is the first step for real decentralization of intelligence. When everyone gonna have a model that run in the device, then you can speak about decentralization. So imagine millions, billions of phones that have an entity inside. This is decentralization. So you don't have to rely on any infrastructure anymore. Easier, easy enough. Trust me, there is a model inside. There's an LLM inside. This one is enough to correct my things when I write bad English, but my English is terrible. Okay, so so it's helping me a lot, and is in devices. I don't use OpenAI anymore. So from the new version of iOS, you're gonna start to have in-device model. From the next one, so 2027, we're gonna start to see some real AI from Apple. I say Apple because it's one of the most used phone. So imagine that tomorrow, okay, everybody that have an iPhone can have a decentralized identity inside the iPhone. And then we're going to start to talk about full decentralization of everything. The entity can handle your private key, but your private key are here. They are not in the cloud. They are not anywhere, okay? And since I am a cloud user since a lot of time, I know how easy is to hack any cloud. It's impossible to keep them secure. I would like to have more security. So this is, I think, is a natural extension. Even if we was not here with our crypto part, talking about decentralization. Intelligence is going to become decentralized for the single reason that you need to be decentralized to even consume less power.
Yeah, that's true. And this is, I would say, this is possible because if you compare the computer fast, they're basically a size of a room, right? But right now, more powerful computer than that is now in your pocket. My
But
laptop is
my MacBook M4 is more powerful than the computer I had 5 years ago. Like it was a GPU share 5 years ago. I had a fantastic machine. This laptop is twice as faster. It doesn't even have a GPU. So because the GPU that we are now, the new series from RTX with Blackwell that we power now, they are incredible. They are expensive in the terms of electricity. So literally, and they can warm you in the winter. Okay, but the unparalleled and is a triple year by year now. So next generation gonna be probably 3 times better than the one we are using now. So it's very fast. We need to go decentralize it also to use this stuff. So everybody now have GPU at home that is there sleeping, and we should use them, all of them. So everybody should be able to collaborate with what he has. It can be GPU, it can be data, it can be work, labeling is a work, okay? It can be creation of knowledge. So everybody in the community, everybody that is here listening to us should be able to actually participate in this game that is somehow fun.
Yeah. And one more thing which I would also like to add for everyone, because when there is a challenge or bottleneck for your project, it's basically comes with everyone, right? And once you solve that, now it's act like a barrier to other projects. Now you become the leader of your project, you become the superior, and now people have to solve that same issue to get to your height. So definitely I believe you guys gonna solve your all of your challenges in a very advanced way, and best of luck for that. And now let's come to the last round, which is our friendly fire round, where basically one of you guys have to select one project or one speaker to praise about their technology, and you have to select another speaker or another project to ask any question, and he'll answer your questions. So you will get one opportunity to select one of our speakers to praise their technology and one of our speaker to ask a question. So Maya.
Wow, I was impressed by everyone. Yeah, and I'm actually a user of Eliza OS. So actually, the project that makes me most curious today would be Kyla. And yes, can you guys showcase me how many location has Kyla been utilized in? Because you guys are like a weather MCP, so it would be like real location based, right?
Yeah. So in terms of our actual sensor network, today we have deployed over 20,000 stations in 122 different countries. So and we're growing very fast. And yeah, so that's our data coverage. And then in terms of, we have a lot of users coming through us via Chain Opera, where we have over 300,000 people using our device. And then we're fairly new to market. We're talking to a lot of travel companies, especially Web3 travel companies, to be able to provide incredible proactive intelligence to, let's say you're Expedia, right? The dream one day soon, hopefully, when you book a trip on Expedia, they will have a little AI agent that is powered by Kayla and provides people with instant alerts if there's weather that's going to affect your trip, or could even be just, hey, it's going to be beautifully sunny in Seattle on your trip. Here's some amazing outdoor dining spots for you to eat at, or packing tips, because unfortunately it's monsoon season in Hawaii and you need to pack an umbrella. Don't forget to pack your umbrella. So yeah, hopefully that kind of gives a little bit more color as to
Yes.
the application.
And another question is just like, how is decentralization plays a role in Kyla product? How is blockchain playing a role in your product?
It's obviously making sure, I gave more kind of personal individual use cases, but we're building B2B solutions, AI models that, the weather derivatives industry is growing so fast. It's now worth $25 billion, according to the CME group. So this is kind of basically kind of reinsurance, hedging your bets. If you're a company that invests in cotton trading in India or Argentina, right, you've got a lot at stake. And if weather comes in and ruins your crop, you can now take out weather derivatives that will pay you out based on a certain weather condition. But if you're, the person that's paying out millions and millions of dollars because a certain weather condition existed, you want to have immutable, reliable data that can't be tampered with. And that's where the decentralization comes in.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Of course.
So I think, Toby, it's your turn to praise someone and to ask someone questions.
Sure. First of all, well, obviously we work with Eliza OS, but love all of the projects. So just to mix it up, maybe I'll ask Tagger, just super curious in terms of kind of quality assurance. You're obviously collecting data from a lot of different sources and people. Like, how do you deal with kind of quality assurance of all the data that's being contributed?
Yeah, so basically we have two modes for data labeling. One is AI Copilot and the other is manual data labeling. So for the AI Copilot tool, it will be basically an AI review plus partial peer review. So basically, for example, we have a pre-trained AI Copilot tool that roughly knows what something looks like. So for example, if it's a lung nodule, then it initially would around like 65% know what a lung nodule looks like. We'll train it on around 100 pictures. So that's very minimal amount of data for a pre-trained model.
Yeah.
So then after that, gradually over time, when people do more and more data labeling, the AI will evolve. So that accuracy will turn from 65, 75 to roughly like 90%. At that time, AI will automatically roughly review. So for example, if someone labeled a piece of data with extremely low quality, then obviously, even if the AI only knows around 75 to 80% what a target looks like, the end result could be very bad, right? If someone labeled something very, very bad, like it was very bad quality, so it could turn out with a score of 20, 30, 40, right? Then these are the data sets that we need to pick out and do partial human review. But other than that, it's usually an AI automatic review. But right now, with the new manual data labeling, with the other section, so without the pre-trained Copilot tools, so these manual labeling tasks are used, these data are used to train our AI Copilot tools, basically. So with the manual data labeling, we have peer-driven peer-driven review process. So basically, every piece of manual data is passed on to 3 reviewers, data reviewers, and if all 3 passes the quality assurance, then that piece of data passes. But if one person disagrees and 2 people agrees, then it needs to go to a 4th reviewer. And that the discretion of that 4th reviewer will be the final result. So it's like a peer review process in a research article, basically. Much like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's amazing. Cool. That's great. My only other challenge is it data or data?
Yeah, where I'm at.
Right, joking. We're on the other side. Just lighting it up at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Trevor, you can go next.
Yeah, just to mix things up. Yeah, so I think actually this is very coincidental because I like Kayla a lot because just then, before I went on to the AMA, I was looking on Instagram and I just came up a post on this. Google DeepMind just changed hurricane forecasting forever. The weather, right? It's like this post over here. Yeah, basically what they're doing is I think Kayla has the potential to mixed up with a lot of, as you said, the weather AI and also forecast AI market is huge. It's going to be huge, and it's going to also consume a lot of computing power in the future. So also what Google DeepMind has been doing, and you have also stated that you focused a lot on the consumer side. You put a lot of effort into actually designing things for the consumers and also connecting to that large industry sector with a high potential. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Kayla as well. And also let me ask a question to Eliza. Yeah. So in terms of inference, yeah. So I think you run inference as well. So in terms of inference, because decentralized inference or decentralized training or decentralized AI in general face a problem of inefficiency. So when you have distributed nodes,
very bad, like bad. So okay, let's start from the problem, biggest problem. So when we train model infra-region, means that there is not enough GPU in that specific part of the world. Okay, not everybody is rich like Elon that to have 100,000 GPU in-house. We face problems that are terrible because be able to for real train the model. Oh, this is fantastic. Be able to train the model that are in 2 different regions or 3 different regions or 4 different regions become problematic. Okay, so and this is training. So it's something that we can actually control with checkpoints. So if something goes wrong, we can always load a checkpoint that is a save, image saving of what we're doing. So if for the big player is very difficult to plan a training distributed, not decentralized, but distributed, okay? Yeah. Imagine how difficult it is to have decentralized inference that work for real. The problem is not that the decentralized inference is somehow a low quality, is that it depends the use you have to do with it. So if I have an application that need to have 100% uptime, I cannot go decentralized. I cannot go, I cannot even go centralized at 100%. I need to have multiple API or multiple provider that route depending on the weight of the scaling I need. Okay, so Now we have one entity. Okay, we have my phone, the one entity. There's an API that enter from OpenAI, for example. Okay, and this is completely centralized. To have this, to be sure that this get this all the time, does not matter what's happening in the world. Okay, example: yesterday, one agent destroyed internet for 3 hours because probably Devin crashed Cloudflare. Okay, I need to have multiple entry points. So in my case, I have Claude, Grok with Q, and another provider that route depending if something is wrong. Okay, I route to have 100% uptime. Okay, and this is centralized intelligence. With the decentralized intelligence, the situation becomes gradually worse. Okay, because there is no offering. Okay, of high quality models that run on a decentralized system. But this is not our fault. It's the problem that we always need to load one big, gigantic model in a data center or a GPU server, anywhere you want. Okay, it can be a GPU server Debian. Okay, but it is a monolithic entity. It's not a modular entity. In the future, that is going to happen after this big transformer moment. Transformer is the technology we are using now with the LLM. We're going to have a modular system. A modular system is need from us in the industry to break down the expert depending on what we need. So maybe, like I said before, today I need a cursor, so I need a coder. Tomorrow I need content, so I need an expert to do content. But I don't need to have all the monolithic LLM anymore. I need a part of it. So slowly, also because the increased request gonna be impossible to solve with the normal GPU system and what we do now, we're gonna start to break down the model. When we're gonna start to break down the model, then we're gonna probably be able to also decentralize them better, because the entity, the expert, gonna become 5% of the total, and maybe Tagger need a vision model to tag better the data, and it doesn't need all OpenAI, it just need Cosmos, that is very small, for example, from NVIDIA, and this can run fully decentralized. I think, anyway, like I said before, that soon, probably 27, we're gonna have a computer able to run full LLM on board without the need to depend from outside. So then you're gonna be fully decentralized. You're gonna be private even better than that. Okay, but in this moment, it's too much difficult to put together all the pieces, and you need uptime. The problem is not the laboratory, guys. When we do experiment, I have 3 agents that run since 3 years, never stop. A terabyte of memory collected. They do strange stuff. They later arrive. They do crazy stuff. But this is a laboratory. It's not a real use case. I'm not saving people. I'm not checking the image of the MRI to see if a person has cancer. I don't save lives. It's just a test. In production, it's totally different. You cannot have a downtime. So decentralizing this moment is probably impossible to do. Also because most of the people don't even trust the DeepMind provider to serve their own custom-made model. There is teams that even make their own LLM. They don't trust the DeepMind because they think they're gonna steal their stuff, and they put their model on Google or Azure or AWS for this reason. But everything now runs on AWS. Solana is completely AWS, guys. So it's not decentralized at the end. Okay, if you run in data center only, you're not completely decentralized. Okay, so we need a little bit of time. Okay, technology wise, to go in the direction that is needed from the market, that is Web 2, and Web 3 is already here waiting for it. We made this Okay, this decentralized was us 13 years ago, and we're gonna solve them a problem. So for one time, okay, we're gonna be the smartest in the room.
Yes, definitely. I've also looked into similar errors as well. So we probably need to wait for 6G, 7G networks to come up. And also, I also saw some solutions where you have basically hardware placed around 2 to 3 kilometers next to each other, placed all over the world. If you have, they're like a CDN cable, but except for inference. So
it's called InfiniBand.
Okay, yeah.
It's a network solution that was built by NVIDIA. Is incredibly fast. It's like is in the same room. It's not the distance the problem anymore. It's the reliability of the network in between them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I think now Igor can go next to praise a project and the technology and choose someone to ask a question.
So I'm gonna go again with so Kyla. I have your device at home. I like it. I like the idea of it. I would like to mix this up. So Kay, Toby, and Trevor. How can Kyla get better data because somehow is tagged in a different way from an entity like you? Boom.
Yeah. So it's not just about better data. It's about more data and more hyperlocal data, right? You have government stations that are, admittedly higher grade than ours, but people can't afford them. A lot of governments can't afford them around the world, especially, in the global south. So, going back to what, you guys were talking about earlier with, forecast models. I used to work for Weather Underground, which was like the first crowdsource weather platform, first weather website. It used to take us 6 hours to run a traditional numerical model of our own, right? And as we mentioned, AI can run a forecast model in seconds. Google DeepMind is transforming hurricane forecasts. But the one thing that all AI models need, we all know, 1, 2, 3, data, more data inputs. So, what we're really going to provide is just extra coverage of real world data. And because all of our data comes from the same device, we can understand, we've got good QC algorithms. We know if something's off so that our data is reliable, but also soon we're going to get critical mass and get scale and get deployment in areas of the world that don't have data. So it's really a quality and quantity balance. We need more data points so that every AI model needs real world anchor points, right? And that's what we're positioned to provide, like be the data oracle, as well as providing the AI intelligence on top of that.
Awesome. Great, guy. Great. Actually, this was very informative debate, and we are coming to the end of this debate today. And before moving out, I would like to again give you an last chance to have your last line or outro to our audience, where mentioning in one line who gonna win, decentralized AI or this giant centralized AI in like 5 years. So yeah, Maya, do you want to give some outro and answer this question?
So yes, I think because for me, we are a project that specializedly target the DeFi sector. So of course we will think that decentralized AI will win in the end. But I'm more curious to hear answer from Dagger or from Kyla, which are originally the Web 2 projects but migrate to Web 3. So yes, I think the answer will be more accurate because being AI, we originally target the Web3 audience since the beginning. So our answer would be for me and for Eliza, I think, of course, it would be decentralized AI, yes.
and you'll be very surprised to hear that I agree that decentralized AI is the future. The kind of AI that is built on principles of openness, fairness, and global participation. Right, the Web 2, where the networks were there's a huge socioeconomic imbalance, but by our DeepIn model allows us to, as I mentioned, deploy stations globally, so anyone can contribute to its development. Privacy is inherently protected. Intelligence is derived from accurate, unbiased, real-world data that is, anyone can participate and get rewarded, and that's way better than centralized, outdated data that only exists where there's high household income.
Just one question for Kaila team. So the data that you guys gather are from independent contributor and not government back station, right?
Correct. Yes, anybody can purchase this station that I'm holding. You can see. We also want to work with governments, whether it's governments with a weather service like here in America, we've got the National Weather Service, but they need, like everyone, they need more data. They can't get enough data, and they buy a lot of data from private companies, and then in other countries, more developing countries, the government does not have a formal weather system or service, right? I was at an AI at SF Climate Week. I was listening to actually somebody from Google DeepMind was talking about this, and they said that let me get this right, a 1-day forecast in most parts of Africa is only as accurate as a 7-day forecast in the US and probably other developed countries, which is just crazy. Like if you've ever looked at a 7-day forecast, even in the US, that you shouldn't look at that, right? Actually, 5 days is kind of the limit to where you should rely on a weather forecast. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, that hardware looks very good. Do drop me a link sometime. I'll buy it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll hit you up. Give you a promo code.
I got it. I want also the camera, but I did not check yet where I can find it.
Yeah. So I'll share an unpopular opinion. Personally, I think maybe in 5 years, centralized AI would still be, I think, more applicable, would still have stronger power, still have more utility, and decentralized version of it. But maybe for a longer period, I think it goes down to how private and how decentralized users or business or clients wants AI to be, right? Because I think one big use case in Web3, because I've always believed that Web3 is AI oriented and blockchain is just an infrastructure. So in that case, I think a big part behind Web3 will be something like a ZK ID, or in a decentralized agent or AI ID. So where you have an agent that knows who you are, or knows your preferences, or knows, basically if I want to plan out a weekend, I say, I like to eat tomato, or I like to eat Italian restaurant. That AI knows that. So that AI is literally my clone. So in the future, that is basically my digital footprint and my AI footprint. And for example, if someone wanted to, for example, show ads to me, then instead of finding Google, they can find my AI clone. So that's basically Agent ID. I think that will be a big part of the Web3. So in the future, like the infrastructure of AI. And that needs to be decentralized. Because if it's centralized, as we can see in OpenAI right now, there's a personalized AI module to ChatGPT. And I think if, currently it's going fine, but potentially if they do monetize off it, or if they do something internally with it, then that's obviously not very ethical. Right, that part needs to be decentralized, and I think that will form the backbone of future AI. So maybe in 10 years, when we actually truly adopt that AI-oriented Web3 concept, then blockchain will be the key to the future. And also, once, like Iga previously said, once we upgrade all of the infrastructures and all of the the technology, then obviously once we can get the decentralized inference training and AI and models generally to the same level as for example Claude. Right, then that time, decentralized AI will completely take over. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
So I already answered. So I agree with Trevor. It's going to be taking time, a lot of time. And probably after all this time, centralized intelligence is going to be still stronger. Okay. But you don't need ChatGPT 24 hours a day to fix your email in the phone. You don't need all this much intelligence. I need it because today, for example, I just drop an MCP one day and generally take like a week to do something like that normally. So yes, I want the best performance ever. There are fields where you don't need all that specific power, so it can be decentralized. But it's gonna take us a bit of time. Next week I am in Singapore for Super AI to test this new fantastic network from NVIDIA, and I wanna let you know next AMA what I think about it. But I agree, it's gonna take us a lot of time, and is going to also need a change of technology. So we cannot do decentralizing with transformers. Too big, too expensive, and for a reason. I want to be clear on this. There's a reason why transformer technology that is born 4.5 years ago did not have a transformer 2 that is better, faster, and consume less GPU. Because if you make a model that use less GPU, Mama NVIDIA are not going to be happy with it. That is the problem of the centralized system. So we need this NVIDIA friend. Okay, so for the moment, this is what we're going to have. Anyway, between us, we can build decentralized entities that anyway can use a centralized intelligence for this time, okay? But like Toby said, we want to build something that is open. I want to see what's inside the box. The problem with the LLM is that not even who invented the LLM will know what's inside the box. We still study what's inside the box because we don't know for real how they work 100%. This is the first time we build something and we don't know how it works. So it's going to take us time to discover exactly how everything works and probably optimize it, okay? And during this time, the open source community, all of us, we need to be working stronger to keep an eye over the centralization problem. So we need to observe them to understand what they're doing with our data, what they're doing with the LLM. Imagine that you can serve the LLM to everybody in the world, and everybody asks questions to your LLM, and you can control the answer just by training the model in a different way. This is what I don't like of our centralized intelligence. At the point, if one of the players going to be too big to beat, can be OpenAI, can be Anthropic, can be anyone, and then guys, these people can train the model in a way and then literally control the flow of information. Because the flow of information don't go anymore on a website, guys. Nobody cares on the website. Everybody want to chat. They want to ask a question and have an answer to their question. They don't want to search. That's why we have deep research now. They don't want to, start to browse anymore. There's no reason to do that because the question gets answered in seconds and everything is fine. So we need to be very careful about this and keep it very open, the most open possible. And we should collaborate in the space. We have a lot of teams. We should collaborate more. Like literally sit down and do stuff together. That is how teams grow fast.
Yeah. Agree. So yeah, guys, I think we are now about to end our today's debate, and definitely this was a great debate for me. It was very insightful, and literally 5,000 people watching us debating each other and asking questions. So yeah, guys, thanks again for joining today's debate, and hope sooner or later we're gonna make something interesting event again, where I'm gonna invite you all again, because I believe you guys have huge information, knowledge, experience on the field of AI, and best of luck for future, and for your success, and definitely for the AI in the Web3 space. So yeah, I think we can end this call. Yep.
Thanks so much for hosting and listening, and good to meet everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jitendra,
Bye.
and thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye,
Ciao.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.